So our topic for this session is 7 building blocks of wealth. So this is part of the whole COVID training session. COVID, we put a meaning to it, no, COVID coaching video. So it started during the lockdown. There is a Pilipinas, here in the Philippines. It was like second week of March. So almost every day we had this COVID training session. Mga 30 to 40 minutes na session. And this is one of the session. No? And then we also have a lot of pre-recorded videos. So that you can, later on, we'll give you a link para maka-access ka. So 7 building blocks of wealth. And this is brought to you by IMG and Prosper Pinoy. Okay. So these are some of the questions, no? These are some of the reality that we need to consider, especially if we share this information to a lot of people. Ito, income is temporary and needs are permanent. So we all know na yung income natin, most of the time, it's it depends on the employment or the contract. So we connect a temporary income to the permanent need. So parang hindi talaga siya synchronized. Hindi siya fit, no? Hindi siya So pero of course, ideally we want income that is permanent and needs connected with the needs that are permanent. So okay na siya, no? So kung sa compatible, no? Kung sa computer pa compatible, ganyan. So paano na if wala ng income? Paano na if tatanda tayo na at walang sapat na ipon? So this is very common, no? Almost in every country, merong yung concerns about retirement. And then paano na pangarap nating financial security? Paano na kung kung mga anak mo meron ng sariling pamilya, may ibang priorities. So yan, isa sa mga tinatawag natin sandwich generation. So if ever my children will take care of me and they also have their own family, what if magkasakit yung anak nila, magkasakit ako, so who will they prioritize first? Or who will they, give attention to first? So, yeah, isa sa mga risk when you retire, lack of savings. No? Kung nagpagawa ka ng building pero hindi tama ang mixture ng semento, bakal at bato, solid ba ang building mo? O gusto mo bang pumasok sa bahay o building na hindi solid ang foundation nito? So, very obvious, no? We don't want to get into something that is not safe, no, and secure. So if we look at a structure, let's say building or bahay, we don't want to live in a house, or we don't want to go into a facility that is weak in terms of structure. Gusto natin strong and solid and safe, okay? And kung sasakay tayo ng kotse at merong konting defect ang makina or kulang ng gasolina or may butas ang gulong, malayo ba ang marating mo at ang pamilya mo? So again, this goes to everybody na again, if gusto natin na yung mga goals natin long term. So are we checking, are we looking at everything, putting everything in check, like do I have savings, do I have the healthcare, the protection in place? So compare lang natin yung ibang mga situations sa buhay with regards to financial journey natin. So safe ba ang journey mo at ng pamilya mo kung sasakay sa sira na kotse? So yan, paghandaan natin, no? These are some of the things that we need to prepare for, especially sa financial journey natin. So moving forward, kailangan we move towards a secure future rather than the insecure future. Okay? And yan din ang ibig sabihin ng financial security. Ayaw natin na alanganin o hindi solid na financial future. Gusto natin lahat na magkaroon ng financial peace of mind. No one wants to retire poor, no? I've never met a person na have told me, I've never met anybody that said, Jess, I want to work hard. I'm working hard right now for my family so that I can provide the needs now, so that later on in my life, during when I'm old, I'll be less secure. Or I'm not working hard right now para maging kaawa-awa later on. So walang ganon. So lahat tayo gusto natin financial, yung future natin secure. So That's why we have this topic, this very short, very simple topic, this session, 7 building blocks of wealth, because kailangan natin alamin kung paano ma-achieve ang financial security gamit nitong 7 components o ingredients at paano i-combine ng tama habang may panahon pa. No? So, first up, we need to define ano yung wealth. Kasi the subject is 7 building blocks of wealth. So, what is wealth for us? Most of the time, in most cases, in the Philippine setup, we always connect wealth to material stuff. Okay, most of the time, in most cases. That's why some people do not talk about wealth. They are not open about the discussion of wealth because sa tingin nila, materialistic ka or just talk about the material stuff. Pero let me clarify it. Na wealth includes the things or those that are important to you. Okay? So, first of all, family. Family is important. So, family is wealth. Kaya nga may movie before, Tanging Yaman. Yan. Kasi family is wealth. So, need to say, when you talk about wealth, we better picture out that family is always part of the picture. Okay? And of course, since we love our family, we care for them, we want to provide the needs. Okay? And if you have kids, you want to send them to school. And talking about school, education is a basic need, which connects us to other needs like basic needs, food, clothing, shelter. So again, when you say wealth, pag sinabing wealth, it does not mean material stuff. It does not mean you are worldly. When you say wealth, it includes the things that you care for, the things that are important, family, and financial needs. And if ever meron kang extra funds, okay, and gusto mong halimbawa, gusto mong i-surprise yung family mo or yung kid mo or yung loved one mo, yung spouse mo. So, want na yon. Okay? So, that's where the wants come in. Gusto mo na the perfect cake, o di ba? The perfect birthday cake, the perfect vacation, the perfect graduation gift. So that is a want. And that is also part of, you could consider it as wealth because you acquire those things. Not because you want to have those things only, but also because you want your family and loved ones to be happy having all those things. So it includes it should be included in the picture of wealth. And again, if ever meron kang sobra-sobrang pera, instead of just having, let's say, a dream vacation uh, once a year, siguro gusto mo gawing once a month or once every 3 months. Yan, luxury yan. Instead of just giving a piece of, let's say, a watch or a car, gusto mo ng sports car, gusto mo ng jewelry, you already have a house, pero gusto mo mas malaking bahay, so that's probably luxury na yan, it's still included in the picture of wealth. So everything that you care for, everything that matters to you, should be included in the picture of wealth. So if these things are important, then we need to find a way that, ma-provide natin ano yung dapat i-provide. We need to find a way na ma-sustain natin ano yung pinagsimulan natin. So that's why this saying these words here, proper financial education does not deprive you of all those best things in life. Rather, it is the only way to provide, sustain, and continue providing the best life to your family for today and for the future, for tomorrow. It is the secret to saving and building a great future. So sometimes people want wealth. People want the best things in life, but they don't want financial education, or they simply do not know the importance of financial education. In this session, in this setting, and all the other trainings and seminars natin online, we emphasize to a lot of listeners, kanina yung batch 1, ngayon yung batch 2, later on yung batch 3, we emphasize constantly, consistently that there is a strong link between wealth and achieving the best life, achieving financial security, and proper financial education. There is a strong link. You cannot have wealth and financial security without proper financial education. So, meaning to say, if you deprive, if you think you deprive yourself of wealth, of your wants by learning how to save, that's a wrong mentality. In fact, learning how to manage your money will ensure that you can provide and sustain the best life, not just today, but for the future. Kaya there's a strong link between proper financial education and building security and wealth. So, that's why yung title natin, 7 building blocks of wealth. Kasi yung wealth, those are the things that are important to you. Okay? So, instead of focusing on wealth, the key is, instead of focusing on wealth, we need to focus on the building blocks. Kasi pwede ka namang magpatayo ng, halimbawa, di ba, biblically, no? Sinabi, where you build a castle on the sand or on a solid ground. Anyone can build a castle, anyone can build a structure, but where did you build it? Where are you building it? On a sand, on a weak ground, on a soft ground, or a solid structure? Same thing. Where and how are you building your wealth? Do you have a solid foundation or do you have a weak foundation? So, ito madalas natin nakikita na pinaglalaroan ng mga bata, no? Sometimes they call it with many names, the different names, but alam natin, eventually, the goal of this itong laruan na ito is eventually it will crumble. It will be, it will fall down because consistently we want to take out each block, each block, each block. So alam natin, sooner or later, it has to give in, right? So, and the opposite is what we want sa wealth natin. We don't want na yung wealth natin, yung pinaghirapan natin ngayon, it will just give in just because of merong pandemic, just because of a crisis, just because of old age, just because nagkasakit ka, everything will crumble. We don't want that. But the reality is showing us na if we don't build a solid financial foundation, if we don't focus on learning, putting in the building blocks of wealth, lahat ng pinaghirapan natin, it will be gone. Wala na tayong matitira para ipasa sa next generation because we are not focusing on the building blocks of wealth. Okay? So that is the topic. Emphasize natin ngayon. How important is it to focus on the 7 building blocks of wealth? Okay? If one block is missing, it's impossible to build a solid financial foundation. Take it from the example kanina, yung laruan na, I don't know, it was Jenga or Uno Stako. This is the same goal, no? Na sooner or later, it will have to fall. It will fall because block by block, we take each part away, no? But it's the opposite when it comes to building wealth. If one block is missing, it's impossible to build a solid financial foundation. We don't want that a block is missing. We want a strong, stable foundation, financially secure, so that even yung mga anak natin, tsaka yung anak nila, tsaka yung anak ng anak nila, can experience the hard work natin ngayon. Yan yung ginagawa ng mga mayayaman, di ba? They ensure that yung anak nila, yung apo nila, yung anak ng apo, will not have to try so hard anymore, di ba? Blood, sweat, and tears just to maintain the lifestyle they want. Yun yung goal natin. So it's not really about the wealth on top. It's about building a solid financial foundation through the 7 building blocks. Kailangan haluin natin ng tama. Okay? Kasi na-mention natin earlier na slide, if you build a structure, no, a building, pero hindi tama yung combination ng bakal, yung bato, and semento, it will not be a solid structure. Di ba? You don't want to go into a building or you don't want to live in a house na yung foundation parang weak. Kasi hindi tama yung bakal, yung sa Bisaya, kapilya, no? and yung mga steel bars in English, no? It's not the right size, not the right amount quality of cement, not the right amount of sand and gravel. So it will all be useless. Kahit maganda pa yung design, yung building, sa bahay, pero shortcut yung foundation, wala pa rin. It will not last long. Same thing here. So the first building block, alam natin, sinulat dyan, number 1, financial foundation. That's the block 1. If not financial foundation, financial education rather. If financial education is missing, your financial foundation, your foundation is not strong enough and can not sustain for long. Yan yung sinasabi natin kanina. Very important, financial education. There is a strong link between proper financial education and wealth. Because you cannot build wealth out of nothing. You cannot build wealth sa hangin. It must be on something, it must stand on something like a foundation. And again, yung sinabi natin kanina, biblical. Either you're building wealth on a weak structure, on a sand, or on a solid ground. So kailangan focus natin how to build a solid ground, solid financial foundation. So if kulang ng isang component, which is financial education, your foundation is not strong enough and cannot sustain for long. Sayang yung sakripisyo, ilang years ka nagtatrabaho, may ipon ka, you have savings, but you don't know what to do with the money, it will soon be gone. Mamismanage lang yung pera without financial education. The second component, increase income or increase cash flow. If you cannot increase income or increase cash flow, you may not be able to sustain or continue the building process. So if you just depend on one source of income, which is most of us depend on one source of income, what happens? May pangarap ka, but it will take you very long time to achieve that goal. Okay? Kasi you only depend on one source of income, and that one source of income is kulang. Okay? So, meaning to say, if you have one source of income, a limited source of income, and you have 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that will go to high school and college, how will you sustain their education if hindi mo i-increase yung income? Solution ng mga tao, utang. Right? Utang. Kaya in some countries, even in the Western countries, mga mayaman na countries, there are a lot of, college debts or college loans. Even estudyante pa lang, meron ng utang. Because the parents cannot afford to send the kids to school with cash. Okay? So, yan din yung nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? Napagtapos mo yung anak mo, pero meron kang utang. So, it simply explains, kulang yung income mo. So, yung solution is increase income. So, if you see that from your relatives and friends who went before you, then do not copy them. Lagyan natin, increase income. So, yung dalawa, yung isa kanina, financial education, ito, increase income, dalawa, nasa bottom, di ba? Block 1 and block 2. So, if you have very little income, limited income, and very little financial education, what happens to the structure? Parang hindi strong. Alright? So, if you can not increase income, cash flow, you may not be able to sustain or continue the building process. Let's go to block number 3. If you don't have block number 3, itong tinatawag complete healthcare short-term, long-term, you may not be able to pay for future medical costs, especially during old age. Alam natin, okay, no one can say that, Jess, I will be healthy. I will never get sick. By the time I turn 50, 60, 70, I will be 100% healthy. We cannot say that. The best thing we can do is prepare for it. Question is, have we prepared for it? Do we have what you call these healthcare programs in place? Do we have short-term healthcare and long-term healthcare? The short-term healthcare, you maximize it during younger years because it's also possible you get sick during younger years. The long-term healthcare, you maximize it during older years because it's very possible that when you retire, that's the time the illness comes in. So where would you get the money to pay for the medical cost? Okay? So people before us, when they got sick, their family depleted all the money to the point that they have to sell a property just to pay for hospital cost. Ayaw natin yan. As long as we still have time to prepare, and as long as we know what to do, then we need to do something different. Para hindi natin makopya yung mga mali sa mga people who came before us. Of course, we cannot blame them because they never had a chance to attend a seminar like this. They never had a chance to attend other seminars, online seminars. So information is the key. Knowledge is power. So if you don't have block 3, you may not be able to pay for future medical costs, especially during old age. And this is true. Okay, we are all telling everything the truth here. Pagpunta mo sa private hospital, they ask you whether you have deposit or you have healthcare. That's reality. Even hospitals right now, kung maubos na yung pera mo, they will ask for a land or property title. That's reality. Okay? So, may mga trainings tayo seminar related to each block. Yung block number 1, block number 2, ito block number 3. So, make sure you have access to all those online seminars. Okay? And block number 4, if you don't have block number 4, proper protection and life insurance, you may not be able to protect the future of your loved ones in case you live a short life as a breadwinner. So ito yung na-mention natin earlier na dinidefine na picture out natin yung wealth. Family is included in the picture of wealth. So if you care for family, if you love family, what will happen if something happens to the breadwinner? What happens when the breadwinner can no longer go to work because of health condition? I have a lot of friends or W seafarers. Every time they go, for contract, they would have physical medical exam, and some of them fail in the medical exam, so they cannot, uh, uh, continue the contract. So what happens? Okay? Di ba either na-stop yung income mo due to health condition mo or na-stop yung income because something happened to the breadwinner and passed away. Very important life insurance. Pero, meron tayong mga trainings about life insurance. Do not just go to the life insurance companies and buy. Because the life insurance company, their mission is not to educate you. Their mission is to sell to you. Different yun eh. Two different things. To sell to you and to teach you. Two different things. It's just like kotse. There's a car salesman and there's a driving instructor who will teach you and guide you about safety in the road. It's not the car salesman po. It's the driving instructor. And you know what? When you learn how to drive, you only learn once or twice. And once you do it regularly, then you would know it already. So same thing with financial education and going to the bank or going to the insurance company right away. The bank or the bankers and the insurance company, they are there to guide you when you buy. But the financial education process, only need to talk to a financial educator. In IMG, we are financial educators. If you want to be one of us, like a financial educator, become a member of IMG because who will teach your family, your kids? Okay? Ikaw din, di ba? So, if you become a financial educator, your main role is to educate people about money, how to manage money. That's why we understand the purpose of life insurance. In other countries, alam nila ito. In the Philippines, we are not really familiar with life insurance. That's why we end up buying the wrong products. Financial education is the key. Okay? So may mga trainings tayo, related trainings and seminars online. Then, block number 5. If you don't have block number 5, manage expense and debts, you may not be able to budget your money well and may end up buried in the cycle of debt. Most people, if not all people, no one plan to be buried in debt. No? Wala namang taong talagang nangarap na magkaroon ng malaking utang na malubog sa utang. Wala namang taong ganun. Pero it started with the first utang. It started with the first utang. Bakit ka nangutang? Because overspending and you did not budget the money very well at the start. Bakit hindi mo nagawang mag-budget? Bakit nag-overspend ka? Kasi hindi natin alam eh. We never attended financial education class before. That's why we are bound to make that mistake of overspending. Anyway, I can pay it later. Anyway, meron namang installment. Those kind of thinking. Okay? So, if until now, okay, meron kang utang, and until now, meron kang you have income, but hindi mo na manage ng gusto, then you need financial education. Again, all the components, all the building blocks, they complement each other. We need financial education to really tell us that we have to stop. We have to stop mismanaging and start managing our income. We need to prioritize. We need to learn budgeting. We need to discipline. We need to temporarily, okay, stop yung mga unnecessary spending so that hindi naman dagdagan yung utang. And how to pay off debt, kailangan increase income, increase cash flow. That's why block number 2 yon. Together with block number 1, financial education, plus block number 2, then everything depends on, all the blocks are depending on the bottom block. Okay? So you may not be able to budget your money well and may end up buried in a cycle of debt. Some people would say, Jess, wala na akong utang number one. Good. Kasi meron na akong utang number two. You borrow money, utang number two to pay utang number one. It's a cycle of debt. And then just wala na akong utang number one and wala na akong utang number two. Good. Because I borrowed for utang number three to pay utang number one. So that's the cycle of debt and we don't want that. Okay? So once you join IMG, you attend IMG classes, eventually the mentality, the mindset will change and the rest will follow. Okay? That's block number 5. Block number 6, extra funds for emergency contingency. If you don't have block number 6, you may not be able to survive in difficult times, especially when income is limited or when urgent cash is needed. So emergency fund is not just needed during times like this, during lockdown, during quarantine. Ngayon lang naging obvious the importance of it, right? But ang daming times na pwede natin tawaging emergency. Halimbawa, you have a car, you have a kotse, and that kotse of yours is already been with the family for 10 years or more, and umulan, and then bumaha, and then all of a sudden, nagbag down yung kotse. And you are in the process of, hinatid mo yung anak mo sa school, yung spouse mo sa office, ikaw din, you bring yourself to the office, and that car is your main transportation. And all of a sudden, hindi na umaandar. So, affected yung transition every day, yung routine. So what will you do? Then you need to have emergency fund to have the car repair as soon as possible. It could be a part, it needs a part replacement or what. So you need emergency funds for that. Or if you have an old parent, let's say a senior citizen parent who doesn't have any health care and suddenly gets sick, suddenly kailangan ipa-hospital. So where do you get the money to deposit or even pay? Right? So emergency and contingency. So is again very important yung set of funds na yan, hindi mo gagalawin unless it's emergency. If you don't have emergency funds, you may not be able to survive in difficult times, especially when income is limited or when urgent cash is needed. So again, the obvious example is right now, a lot of people are worried every day because they are running out of emergency funds or have depleted their extra money. Okay? So kailangan, gusto mo financial security, add emergency funds to the component. It's part of the 7 building blocks. And the 7th building block, proper investments. Hindi lang investments, proper investments. If you don't have block 7, you may not be able to survive old age and you may end up to be a burden to your family. Why? Because most people, meron namang investment, pero the investment is not really tied up with a goal. Okay? For most people, the investment is just pera-pera lang, which is normal. Okay? Ba't ka mag-invest? Gusto ko magkapera. Yan lang, no? Pero until there. So, mean to say something's missing. Proper investment, it should be tied up with a goal. Why am I investing now? Because I want to have enough funds when I retire. When will you retire? 20 years from now, 10 years from now. See? So that's a goal. So why are you investing now? Because you have a goal. Why are you investing now? Because I have a kid who will enter high school or college in 10 years. Why are you investing now? Because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I will have to build my house. Kailangan ko pang down payment or pang, spot cash or even hindi spot cash. If kalahati ng cost, nag-down ako, so konti na lang yung utang. So, why are you investing? It should be tied up with a goal. Because if walang goal, if money is the only goal for investing, you are prone to, making investment mistakes. And that's why marami sa atin make investment mistakes, wrong investment, wrong decision. Even business owners. It doesn't mean may negosyo ka na marunong ka na sa pera. No. Even business owners make mistakes. But people who know how to invest starts with a goal. Para saan? For what? And most of the goals should be long-term. Because most of the best things in life that you want in life, nasa long-term, hindi sa short-term. So you have to have, delayed gratification. Because ano yung goal? It should be long-term. Okay? That is block number 7. So financial education is for everyone. It turns spenders to be savers, to be investors, to entrepreneurs. So, yung lahat ng mga building blocks, 7, we all have separate lectures for all those building blocks. Meaning, once you enroll, become part of IMG, join the community, it's just like nag-enroll ka sa isang university, and yung mga building blocks, yun yung mga curriculum, yun yung mga courses, yun yung mga topics, yun yung mga uh, uh, chapters, no, that you will learn and you will have to apply, as early as possible. Because the best thing about financial education is this: you don't need to have 4-year course, 5-year course bago mo i-apply. Okay? Once you learn the financial education concepts, is practical yun eh. Once you learn, you can apply right away so that you will see the result. Once you learn, you apply right away so that you can implement what's best for you. Yan yung maganda sa financial education. Hindi siya isang talagang kurso, professional course that will take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years bago mo i-apply yung natutunan mong theory. And by the time you apply, doon mo na-realize na hindi pala lahat na theory applicable. Ito, sa financial education, practical, applicable information. Good thing also is somebody will guide you step by step. So if you are in the process right now of building a solid financial foundation for yourself and for the future of your family, someone will guide you step by step until such time you know how to do it yourself already, and you'll have to do it and design up programs for your family, because you are the best person who knows what's best for your family. No one else knows what's best for your family. Ikaw lang. Not your future is not in the hands of your banker, of your insurance company, of your employer, of your barangay captain, of your government, of your mayor. The future of your family is not in their hands. The future of your family is in your hands. We just need to equip you with the right information so that you would know what to do and how to do it, how to implement it. All right? Financial security is a decision. You are one decision away from achieving financial security. What I'm trying to say is that yung nag-attend ka ngayon, you decided for it. Not by accident, but you just decided, no? Hindi ka gumising, tapos automatic nag-login ka lang. No, you decided before, hours ago or days ago, that you will attend. So it's a decision. So same thing with financial security. Just like everything in life is a decision. What kind of work you want, what kind of salary you want, what kind of food you will eat, what kind of attire you would wear, it's a decision. Same thing with financial security. And good thing is, you are one decision away from achieving financial security. 14 years ago, one decision that I made was to become part of this organization para magbago yung financial life ko, para I would learn how to manage my money so that I could get out of debt. At the same time, I start saving for the future. You only need one decision to achieve financial security. And your best decision is tied up with financial education. Start with financial education. Okay? So guys, we are already done with our training, and let me end with this way, no? If you think na maganda yung information, congratulations. If you think nabitin ka sa information, congratulations din, because you can access that site prosperpinoyimg.com, because they have 4 classes there. Just sign up for free. There are 4 classes there. You can upgrade, level up your knowledge when it comes to finances, kaya tinatawag yung master class. And then at the same time, you can attend a workshop, financial workshop. These are 2 hours training. Itong master class, mga 50 minutes lang. Itong workshop, mga 2 hours training. But the mentors there are the mentors of Brother Paul Sanchez. So you can just, click the videos and listen to their training and coaching. So ask your inviter how to attend the e-workshop. Okay? Online workshop, financial workshop yan. And if you have a Facebook account, we encourage you to add yourself here, Life of a Financial Educators Forum, or we call it Life Group. And you put the inviter, let's say Coach Joanne or Jess Falier, so that yung admin doon automatically will approve your membership in that Facebook group. Anong nandun sa Facebook group, you'll get updates, posts, and inspiring and motivational information all about our advocacy, financial literacy. And when you go to Facebook, after you go to Facebook, you also go to YouTube, and you look for the channel Prosper Pinoy with this logo, and you subscribe, and you'll have access to all those training videos in the past, and in the coming days. We will always update that with new materials. And the reason why we want you to subscribe, para ma-update ka. So once you get updated, you have access to the new materials, and once you're blessed with that material, you can share to your family and friends. So maraming, we all win together, win-win situation. So it's not just for you. You can share to your family and friends. So it's just about information and knowing the right information. All right. So guys, this is my last advice to you. If you're not yet a member of the community, join us, enroll now, and so that you'll have access to that book. And that book has been the source of our training and lecture. So we don't just get information from internet, Google, and picture here, picture there, and we just put everything in PowerPoint. We don't do that. Okay? Unlike other people, they do that. But tayo po, nasa libro yung lahat na tinuturo natin. This book is not available in any bookstore. It's for IMG members only. And if you're a member of the organization, this information will bless you, change your financial life. All right, guys. I congratulate you for attending, and I will keep in touch with you in the email, the Facebook group, and sa webinars and seminars. And let's keep in touch for the next schedule of our training. Okay.